Hey guys, welcome back to Ben Talk Sports. So in my last video, we talked about 5 of the players who are surprising everyone this season. So naturally, we're going to take a look at the other end of the spectrum and talk about 5 NBA players that are disappointing everyone this season. Now, although we are only about a month into the season and it's still a small sample size, we kind of have a rough idea on how these players are performing compared to what was expected of them before the start of the season. But before we start though, please smash that like button as it really helps out the channel. So, without further ado, let's begin. Starting off the list at number 5, Lonzo Ball. Now, Lonzo was the 3rd overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft, and before he entered the league, people had the expectation that he could be a star one day. But 4 seasons into his career, and I think we just have to accept the fact that Lonzo will always just be a role player to a decent starter at best. But with his fellow draft mates getting massive contract extensions in the offseason, I thought this might be the season where Lonzo comes out strong and proves that he deserves a contract extension as well. But 9 games in, and he is not playing well at all, as he's averaging about 12.4 points, a career low 4.3 rebounds, and also a career low 4.4 assists. Now, although last season he seemed like he changed his shooting form and helped him to become a better shooter, this season he is back to becoming his normal, inefficient self again, as he is shooting just 39% from the field and 30% from 3, and just 60% from the foul line. With the way that Lonzo was playing, and with him constantly getting injured, plus the addition of Eric Bledsoe in the offseason, taking away his touches, I don't think that the Pelicans really need him on the roster anymore. And besides that, his own brother LaMelo is actually playing way better than he is, so either he has to step up later into the season, or he might not get a good contract offer. Number 4, Pascal Siakam. So about a month ago, I made a video before the season started, and that was about 5 players who have to prove themselves, which if you guys haven't watched it, I will have the link on your screen now, and Siakam was on that list. But this season, he isn't performing quite as well as I thought he could, and currently, he is averaging about 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, while his shooting has been down compared to last season, as he is shooting just 44% from the field and 28% from 3. Now, the problem I see with Siakam is that he just can't be the first option, and that he doesn't have enough moves in his bag to close out games. Now, I know a lot of people have made fun of Siakam that he uses the spin move way too much, and to an extent that is somewhat true. I mean, there were 2 games this season where he had the chance to make the game-winning shot, but missed both times and did a spin move both times. But to be honest, man, I think the entire Raptors team has been disappointing. I mean, they were one of the best teams in the league last season, but are now the 13th seed in the Eastern Conference with a record of 3-8. But hopefully, Siakam's just in a slump and the Raptors can make it to the playoffs. Number 3, Ben Simmons. First of all, we all know that Ben still can't shoot, and that is one of the main reasons why he is on this list. But the reason I think he has been so disappointing this season is that he really hasn't shown much improvement ever since he was a rookie. Now obviously we can see that his defense has gotten better last season, but even that has looked somewhat questionable this season. He is averaging a career low in points and field goal attempts, as well as shooting his worst from the field at just 50%. And sometimes his impact is so little that you barely even notice him on the court. You know, for someone as big and athletic as Simmons, and with the court vision that he has, he can't just be standing in the dunker spot the whole game, waiting for an alley-oop or a putback. Another thing that I've noticed with Ben is that he just doesn't look that engaged on offense. You know, maybe because of his poor free throw shooting, but he doesn't drive to the rim a lot anymore. He is averaging about 3.7 field goal attempts on drives, which is roughly a 40% drop-off compared to his rookie season. Now, right now, Simmons is kind of like a bigger, more athletic Draymond Green out there, but less vocal. And with the Sixers deciding not to trade him to Houston for James Harden, Ben should now feel obligated to play better and be the all-NBA caliber player that we know he can be. At number 2, Kelly Oubre Jr. When the Warriors first acquired Oubre, people looked at him as a huge addition to the team because of his impressive showing last season on the Suns, where he averaged about 19 points and 5 rebounds. But this season, Kelly has been in one of the worst shooting slumps I have seen by a player. Through the first 6 games of the season, Kelly shot 2 for 30 from 3-point range, which is just absolutely terrible. But since that, he has kind of picked up a little, but is still not shooting well, as he is currently averaging about 11.1 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 1 assist per game, while shooting just 35% from the field and less than 20% from 3. So we have to ask the question, what is going on with him? Well, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, he is attempting roughly the same amount of shots as in his prior years, but the shots are just not going in. Now maybe that's due to the expectation of trying to be in the sort of Klay Thompson role for the Warriors. But I think we should give Oubre some time to settle into his role. After all, it's only been 12 games, so let's see if he can find his rhythm in a few more weeks. Before we get to the number 1 spot, here are some players that have been disappointing but just didn't make it onto the list. And those players are Blake Griffin, Russell Westbrook, JJ Redick, and Kendrick Nunn. Finally, at number 1, Devonte Graham. Now, Devonte was a breakout player last season, immediately going from a player that not many people knew about to being the starting point guard for the Charlotte Hornets. After last season concluded, Graham surprisingly was not on the most improved player finalist, and Luka Doncic replied with, "Take me off the list and put Devonte Graham on there," because that's how surprisingly good he was last season. But this season, he is, how do I put this lightly, trash. Seriously though, Graham is putting up stats of 12.5 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 6.4 assists per game, but shooting just 31% from the field and 32% from 3. And the misses are just frustrating, especially given the volume in which he gets his shots up. And that has many Hornets fans extremely mad because they have a really talented rookie that is playing way better than him but coming off the bench. So if Graham continues to perform like this, I think we might see LaMelo Ball take over that starting spot sooner than later. So that's my list of 5 players who I think are disappointing everyone this season. Now let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with this list, and tell me in the comments who do you think I left off this list. So with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching this video. We are aiming for 1,000 subscribers in 2021. So if you guys enjoyed it, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications as I upload new videos every single week. And thanks for watching.